What's up, everybody? It is Amrinder Singh. If you are first time on this podcast, let me tell you something. This podcast is all about colloquial Punjabi, where I teach how to understand a Punjabi native speaker and how to communicate with them. If you are struggling to understand Punjabi native people, it's not your fault. Actually, it is the fault the way you are learning. Probably you are learning wrong type of Punjabi, which is like a formal Punjabi or textbook type Punjabi. This is not how we talk. We talk differently. We talk in colloquial Punjabi, or you can say conversational Punjabi. There are a lot of differences between a textbook type Punjabi, or you could say formal Punjabi, versus the colloquial Punjabi, the way people talk. So, if you're ready to learn colloquial Punjabi, then let's kick this thing off. Today, I'm gonna give you really important tip on masculine and feminine, because you guys know, if you are listening to my podcast recently, basically the beginner podcast when I make, so you would notice when you make sentences in Punjabi, so we have ending the sentence ending as a masculine or feminine, right? And these ending depends on a pronoun you are using. Are you using a masculine pronoun or a feminine pronoun? It is also depends on like object. It's a masculine object or it's a feminine object. A lot of you guys are confused because sometimes what happens, a pronoun could be a feminine. Let's say you are a girl, and now it's pronoun. If you're using man, it's feminine pronoun, right? But the thing you are talking about, it could be probably masculine, right? Now, a lot of people get confused in this situation because now they don't know the ending of the sentence, right? Because every time when you speak Punjabi, the ending of the sentences, which we do mostly with the verbs, right? Where verb is going to be at the end. And now the verb structure, it changes according to pronoun or object. If it's a masculine, then it's going to be a masculine at the end, right? Now the problem is, how would you know? You need to change the verb structure according to pronoun or object. This is the real confusion. A lot of people getting confused, right? Because you don't sure if it's pronoun is feminine and object is masculine. Now you don't know which thing we need to focus. All right. So you need to change it in masculine or feminine. That's what we are gonna crack down today. All right. And it would make your life so easier. All right. This kind of stuff you don't find them in the books. Book doesn't explain that thing. And if you think, or maybe if you read in the books, maybe you learn from a teacher, let me know. Because most of the teachers they teach like formal Punjabi, they don't tell. And I'm gonna also put the poll in the description. If you listen to this podcast on Spotify, you can check out and you respond me. I'm gonna also ask you a question, and I'm gonna also make a poll. The thing is, I wanna ask you. You let me know what I'm teaching you right now. You are hearing it first time, or you learned it already. You know it already. You learn it through a book or teacher. You let me know, or you just learn by yourself, figuring it out, or you just know automatically this is how it works. You don't know why it's like that. Like, we mostly, the native speaker, the Punjabi native speaker, they just speak this kind of sentence correct automatically. We don't think about that, and we don't know why is that, right? I also didn't know that. So until I started making this kind of podcast, when I started teaching like Punjabi people, not Punjabi people, I mean English people. When I start teaching Punjabi to English people, I also figured out recently when I was thinking about this thing. Okay, why sometimes a sentence is ending because it's main focus on the object. We don't care if a subject, basically a pronoun, is basically a masculine or feminine. We don't care about that. Mostly, not mostly, like sometimes we focus on the object. Now we change the thing called the verb according to the object, but sometimes we completely ignore the object and we like change the ending of the sentence according to pronoun. And that's what I was thinking. So I figured out. I can't say everything, but most of the stuff I figured out, I'm gonna tell you right now. And if you use this technique, I think 95%, more than 95%, your sentences ending is going to be correct if you crack this down. And this is one of the most important episode it is. I want you to share this episode with everybody who is learning Punjabi. This is really important and it would make your life so easier. Like if you are kind of that person who speaks some kind of Punjabi, it's really benefit you. Even those people who are still beginner, and if they figured out this thing earlier and they don't struggle with Punjabi. Basically, the main struggle when somebody start making sentences, the main struggle is even they learn some kind of vocabulary when they put sentence together. So they make the mistakes again and again with this thing. Like they don't know how to ending. The verb is ending as a masculine or feminine because they get confused. All right. So that's what I'm gonna tell you. If you are listening to my recent episodes, basically the beginner episode I made for those people who are beginner, you would know I'm teaching the verb structure, how verb is going to change, right? In different uh tenses, in present, past, stuff like that. That's what I told. Like I told how it changes in past, how it's going to change if it's a depends on masculine or feminine. But in this episode, I'm gonna tell you like how would you know the sentence is it depends on like a pronoun or object, right? Okay, so now thing is, so all right, now if you are gonna make a sentence in a present, right? Any kind of present tense is a present. It could be present continuous, present simple, whatever, or even in the future, right? If you are gonna make a sentence in future, in that situation, your main focus, basically ending of the sentence, going to according is going to be according to like main subject, which is pronoun, right? In that time, you don't depend the sentence on, basically you won't make the sentence based on object. You basically ignore the object. The ending is going to be on the subject. If I give you example, let's say you wanna say I'm drinking a tea. If you are a guy, you will say मैं चाय पी जाना, right? मैं चाय पी जाना. Or you can say मैं चाय पी रहा, right? Or मैं चाय पीन दिया, whatever the structure you're going to use. We personally use पी जाना, all right? मैं चाय पी जाना. The ending I'm like a doing janna, pee janna, right? Which means I'm drinking a tea. Now, the cha is a feminine word, but I'm ending is janna because this sentence it depends on a pronoun which is man, man's guy, so I'm masculine, right? It's janna. If it is a girl, she would say मैं cha pee janni. She would say janni. Now you can look, it is changing according to pronoun, all right? Same in the future. If you want to say, I will drink the tea, I will say, मैं चा पीऊंगा, right? मैं चा पीऊंगा. because I'm a guy. If there was a girl, she would say मैं जा पीऊंगी, right? The verb structure change पीऊंगी. So now in present and future, it is on depends on the subject, main subject, or you can say pronoun. Now sometimes there's no pronoun. Sometimes maybe you are using somebody's name, like right, like David Joppy, like David will drink the tea. So yeah, so it means that David is the main subject. So the ending is going to change according to the David, because David is a guy masculine, then it's Puga. All right. So present and future is basically change the ending on the subject or pronoun. In the past is a little bit more complicated. Not that complicated. In past, mostly the ending changes according to like the object, but not all the time. I'm going to tell you, not with all things. I'm going to also tell you what kind of things. It also depends on subject or main pronoun. But anyway, most of the time it's going to change according to the object. If I give you an example, if you want to say, yesterday I drank the tea, right? If you were a guy, you would say, मैं कल चाय पीती, all right? The verb pina is piti. Now it's not pita. Even you're a guy, you say piti because charge is feminine. Now the sentence structure, the ending of the sentence is depends on object because charge is feminine, right? So it's मैं चाय पीती. If there would be milk which is masculine, I would say मैं दूध पीता. If it's water, I would say मैं पानी पीता because पानी is masculine. If it's a girl, she wouldn't say like I drank the water. She would say मैं पानी पीता. Even she is girl, she is ending with the pita because she's talking about पानी, which is masculine. So that's why it's ending with that. All right. Now, when it's going to change the ending of the sentence, when it's going to change according to object, right? So in some situations, maybe there would be more, but I don't know. What I know for sure, if you are gonna make a sentence, if the verb basically a verb, you are going to use it related to movement of your feet. All right, that time it is going to change according to the subject in the past, right? Then it's won't depends on the object. All right. For example, if I want to say I brought the tea, right? I brought the tea for you. Now in the past, I would say मैं तेरे वास्ते चाय ले आया. All right. ले आया is guy. If you're a girl, you say मैं तेरे वास्ते चाय ले आई. All right. Now, when I say मैं तेरे वास्ते चाय ले आया, you notice that चाय is feminine, but I say ले आया because I'm the guy. Now it's changing according to a subject because I am masculine, right? According to pronoun, whatever you want to say. So the thing is, the verb I'm using, le aaya is proud. When you bring something, like let's say you are bringing some kind of gift, whatever you want to say, you are bringing some kind of gift to your friend's house. Now the activity you are doing is related to your feet. All right. Even you are driving a car, but you still have to use your feet. Basically, leona means bring something. You have to move your feet. So in this situation, it's going to depend on the subject. Like gya, kal main shahar gya. All right, you say gya. Now, which gya means like I went, right? So again, it depends on your feet. Gya. Maybe there would be few more basically these kind of stuff, like these kind of words which relate to your feet movement. That time is going to on the subject. If I give you another example, Let's say you just wanna say, let's say that we're gonna take the same verbs. Like we were talking about मैं चाय पीती, right? You say मैं चाय पीती, I drank the tea, right? What if you say मैं चाय पी गया? You ask me like तू चाय पीती और पी ली? I will say हाँ मैं चाय पी गया, right? Now the verb is pee gaya. Now it's changing according to me because I'm a guy. Pee gaya. If there would be a woman, she will say मैं चाय पी की, right? Now even you are using the cha, right? But the thing is, what you are saying, the ending, the ending you are using basically two verbs, pee, right? Pina, drink. So you say pee kya. What it shows, it means you drank the tea, now you has gone or you has been left, right? You has left or you has gone. Two, you are describing two activities. You drank and now you went away, right? Or you has gone. Now, because the ending verb is related to your feet activity because you move, right? That's why it's changing according to the subject. मैं चाय पी गया. You will say मैं चाय पी गई, all right? Even you can see the difference. When you say मैं चाय पीती, all right, it means you just telling me you drank the tea. If you say मैं चाय पी गया, it means you're telling me you drank the tea. Now you has gone away from that place where you drank the tea. You're not on that place. You drank the tea and then you left, right? So it would make so much easier to make sentences if you keep in mind that thing, all right? So in a future or in a present, maybe I don't know if there's some sentences which is going to depend on object, but I don't think so. There would be some sentences might be, I don't know, they're not in my mind at this moment because this thing is not in the books, all right? And this is not we learn in the school. So I don't know. I'm just figuring out myself, right? I figured myself when I'm teaching to like people one on one. They ask me question, why is there like stuff like that? Then I try to figure it out. So I figured this out. So far, what the information I have, when you're gonna make a sentence in a present or future, the ending of the sentence is going to change according to pronoun. Is a masculine or is a feminine? Is a masculine plural or is a feminine plural? All kind of stuff. It depends on main subject. All right. In the past, mostly it depends on the object. All right. If you're talking about in the past, mostly it's going to change object. But unless only one verb, if the verb is basically related to your feet movements, then it's going to depends on the subject. Again, most of the verbs change according to object in the past. But if the verb is related to your feet activities, the moment, not feet, you can say moment activities, all right? So then it is going to depends on more on the subject or the pronoun. But if there is some other sentence you're going to talk about, let's say you want to talk about in the past something like you used to do before, but no longer doing that kind of stuff, right? That time when you're going to use, that time also the verb is going to change according to subject. Like if you're going to say, I used to play football when I was a kid, right? You would say, ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਫੁੱਟਬਾਲ ਖੇਡਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ if you're a guy ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ if you're a girl you say ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਛੋਟੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਫੁੱਟਬਾਲ ਖੇਡਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ, right? I also made a podcast about it when we use ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ or ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ, right? ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ and ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ means we use when we choose to do something in past but no longer doing those kind of activities, right? So even if you're making these kind of sentences, it's going to change according to the subject, the pronoun, all right? And every sentence is going to end with like a hundasi or hundisi, all right? If it's plural, masculine plural, hundesi, right? So I think I made a podcast about it. You can check it out in all the episodes. So I don't know the number, but it's there. So if you think you are learning something new from this podcast, please support this podcast on Patreon or through PayPal. I would really appreciate it. Or if you wanna take private lessons from me, then you can contact me through Patreon or Telegram or through my email. All the links are in the description. At the end, if you are listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, then you can give it to 5 star. It would help this podcast to spread to the more people. I would really appreciate it as well. Another thing, if you are struggling with Punjabi pronouns, then check out my ebook about Punjabi pronouns. All the links are in the description. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and learned something new today. I'll be back with another lesson another day.